No, I know. Where the heck? I'm reversed.
Well, you're live now, so everybody's watching.
Oh, shoot. Go figure, right?
Hey, everybody, welcome with us today. I have a special guest with me, Tiffanie Windhorst, who was on the show with us, is in Louisville, Kentucky.
What up, what up?
Mom of three, single mom. I'm not sure for you.
Well, I have my lover. He's a firefighter, remember?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't remember if you guys were married or if you were
entangled. Well, common law. 13 years. Common law. Might as well be married.
Common law marriage. Well, that works.
That's right.
So
that's right.
We're going to kind of introduce you to all of my crowd and all of your crowd as well, talking about the upcoming reality show, Play to Win Season 2.
Yep.
You are the first person that I'm asking brand new questions to. So I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay, bring it to me.
Try to stress you out. And, we'll just kind of do interview like we've been doing with all the other contestants. But what I'd really like to do is dig in a little bit more about the show from here forward and kind of, get some nitty gritty details out, get people exposed to why they should watch the show.
Heck yeah.
So let's start with this, because you're like the comical character from the show. You're always cracking me up. So if you could have a billboard with anything on it, what would it be and why?
Oh gosh, a billboard with anything on it. What would it be and why? It would probably be me, because you know how women just like to be real. I'm in an interview right now. Sorry, child. Remember, I'm a mama.
Got 4.
You've got 4. Yes. So I would probably have myself on some sort of like crazy couch with all my dogs surrounding me because I'm obsessed with my puppies. And maybe, I don't even know if I would be dressed, of course, because that would be appropriate. I'm a mother. I have to be dressed. But I think I would have my puppies surrounding me and I would have lots of White Claws and just alcoholic beverages as if, it was like, that's my mascot is the beverages. Hence, I got a White Claw, y'all. That's right. YOLO.
Now,
YOLO
what would it
one.
say? So it would have you, your dogs, and your White Claw. And what would it say?
Well, first it would say there ain't no law when you got the White Claw. And then it would be, welcome to my world of just complete chaos and world of shambles. Yeah, It would be crazy.
So let me ask you this. Tell me a little bit about your background, like your professional background, what you've done in your life, what you've accomplished. Where do you come from? I mean, I know you're in Louisville, you're a Southern Belle, but where do you come from? What have you done? What have you accomplished? Because I'm really trying to paint a particular picture throughout the interviews and dispel some of the kind of myths about network marketing.
Yeah. So I am one of 5. So there's 5 kiddos. My father passed away 8 years ago. So I literally went from riches to rags, trust fund baby over here. We went to Disney every year, every summer, blah, 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 whatever, group destined, whatever. Well, as I got older, I had to become an adult and do everything on my own. Mama and Dad, I let go of that leash. And they're like, all right, honey, now you're on your own. Good luck with life. So I managed to jump into the corporate world when my oldest son, who I had at 21. So when I was 20, I got married, got pregnant. My 21st birthday, I was 2 months. Well, no. So I turned 21 July 1st, and I had Tonio August 30th. So my 21st birthday, I was pregnant. Didn't even get to celebrate. Lots of fun. So I ended up throwing myself into corporate America, needed a job. I was making like $16,000 a year, dude, doing the mailroom. And I still am in corporate America. Antonio will be 20 into this month. However, I've moved myself up, the ranks, yada, yada. But I've found network marketing through a girlfriend of mine about 5 years ago or so, and really didn't take it serious, didn't know the potential. I knew that I didn't know a stranger, so I could talk to anyone and everyone. Like, that part does not bother me at all. I'm just like, oh my gosh, so I get to sit here and like just have conversations with people and make money at the same time. Are you serious? Serious, Clark? So yeah, I had to quickly adapt to not being like that obnoxious person, but at the same time, that's never, I mean, I'm obnoxious and that'll never go away. I'm a lot. So like I said, corporate America, which is, it kind of makes me be calm, and like I have to be real professional and have to just like, you know, but that's not me at all, dude. That's right. Yeah. I'm in a cubicle farm, like total torture.
Yeah.
So that's my plan.
What do you do now in corporate America?
So I am in the healthcare space. I'm actually an account manager. So I work directly with health plans. So it's not a very fun job. I mean, I get to talk to people, which is what I love. Like, I get to build that relationship, and I get to keep that relationship. And that's what's the big key factor in network marketing, is you're building relationships, and you're literally making friends, virtual friends, such as, you know, I actually got to meet John in person, but usually, I mean, a lot of people I know online. Like, I just finally, a girlfriend of mine that I worked network marketing with, we'd known each other for 4+ years, finally just met her beginning of this year in person. So I think that's just so cool, what that potential of the whole social selling network marketing does.
Yeah. So you manage these corporate accounts for in the health space.
Yep.
Then you pick up network marketing as a side gig to
That's
kind of
right.
give you a little more interaction and freedom and etc. You've launched you've helped launch a new network marketing company.
Correct.
So what would your friends, your lifetime love of 13 years, your parents, what would they describe you with network marketing? How would they, I mean, do they understand? Do they just think you've lost your mind?
Well, so Howard, my lover, who's the firefighter, he is like, him and I are total complete opposite. He's very introverted. So social network, I mean, he's on it just to be on it, but he doesn't know how to do it. He'll ask me to help him to, like, you know, post stuff, and he just doesn't understand it. I mean, he's seen my paychecks, so he knows that there is potential and you can make some good money, but that's just not his thing. He's like, I'd rather be sitting on the couch or going to the gym. He's very introverted. My parent, well, obviously my father's passed, so he's, you know, whatever. But my mom, she's actually in network marketing as well. She just started. She has no idea what she's doing, but she knows that money can be made. She's actually a very good saleswoman. That's what she did in her, you know, in the corporate world. She was in sales, and she just can't put the 2 and 2 together of, you know, working Facebook. And then, so they actually, I mean, it's, of course, my mother would say, and even all my family, they're like, this is what you're destined to do. This is what you're destined to be. You know, you just had to get yourself in this right spot and, you know, let everything happen from there. But they're like, you're exactly where you should be right at this very moment. So they're very supportive.
So let me ask you a couple questions. How long have you actually known Ray, or been involved with Rank Makers? I mean, how did that transpire? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I'm actually a newbie, kind of like you. I mean, you probably knew Ray longer than me. However, so one of my business partners, she is actually, they pushed Rank Makers in my company that I helped launch. I mean, they pushed it, and, you know, it's pretty much network marketing and Rank Makers goes hand in hand. So literally, I don't even know, has it been a full year that I've known Ray or been in Rank Makers?
Yeah, so I've known less than you, way less.
Well, okay, well then I thought maybe Paul has known. In December?
Yeah, before the show.
No. Yeah, you're a newbie. Yeah. No. Yeah. So but I was not really like serious into it. And my previous companies that I was with, nobody ever mentioned Ray or Rank Makers, which I wish they would have, because I probably would have totally been I would have been on a level of Megan or somebody, you know, way up. Making those 6 figures, shoo.
She's a firecracker, man. So you've been with Rank Makers for a year. What do you think the number one lesson you've learned from Ray has been over the past year?
Oh my goodness.
Number one.
Ray,
I'm going to look at you.
Okay.
Just one.
I know I could talk. We could be here for hours, y'all. I could talk to you for hours. Just being consistent and showing up.
Just being
that's
consistent.
Literally, because he does the same damn thing. Oh, I just cussed. Sorry. He does the same daggone thing every single day. Literally every single day, but maybe he'll do it in different times. But being consistent and showing up every single day is what.
Well, I think it doesn't matter what business you're talking about. If you're talking about corporate America, if you're talking about being a professional MMA fighter, if you're talking about being a soldier, if you're talking about network marketing, talking about running just some other sort of brick and mortar business, being consistent and showing up every day is a secret to success.
Absolutely.
No matter if you're Elon Musk or you're, Tiffany, it doesn't matter, right?
That's right.
And Ray definitely preaches consistency and showing up.
Yes.
And, like every time I hear him in some way, shape, or form, he's bringing that up. So, so you've known him for a year. So that means you would have known him before the first show aired.
Oh, yeah.
The first Way to Win season. So what was it that made you apply for the show?
Actually, I didn't even want to do it. I was forced.
Forced?
Yes. So one of the girls in my company, she literally, and I don't even know if I remember seeing it being advertised in the Rankmakers. I don't even think I did, but she messaged me and she said, "You're submitting a video." And I'm like, "No, I'm not." She goes, "Yes, you are." I was like, "Fine, I'll do it." And I did it. And I was praying. I was like, "Please don't pick me. Please don't pick me." Like, I did not even want to go. And of course, right. So we went after Valentine's Day. So, we lost a friend and the daughter, right. I don't know if you remember that tragic accident. So then I really didn't want to go. I'm like, I'm not doing this. God's telling me it's a sign. I don't need to be here. And everybody's like, you better get your butt on that plane and go, because this is a once in a lifetime. You're going to meet Ray. You're going to meet Jess. Do it. And I said, yes, ma'am.
So why didn't they apply? I always look at leadership as you lead by example.
Yeah. Well, half of them aren't in Rankmakers, so they wouldn't have even known. Plus, that's not them. That I was destined for TV, so that's what my brother says, and my dad always said I should be a comedian. I'm like, Dad, I am not funny, and so I'm not going to go there.
You just don't try to be
funny looking. No, just kidding. But yeah.
So, all right, that's pretty funny. I didn't realize that you were, in quotes, forced to be on the show. Yes. That's funny. So you were day 2, right?
Day 2.
Yep. Okay.
With you.
Now I remember because you guys all had your powwow the night before and completely excluded me and left me out and made me feel like a complete stranger.
Did I even meet you the night that we jumped in?
Nope. I didn't meet anybody. I showed up in the morning wondering what the itinerary was because I got no emails. Everybody else seemed to know each other, and I'm like,
"You're like, okay, what's happening here? Is this have they already built? What is that on Survivors? Teams. They built,
teams. I kind of felt like the odd man out, like you guys already had teams developed, So. So we're in there day 1, which is technically day 2.
Right.
And we're at the couch. Ray's giving his introduction. Tell me what was going through your head as you spanned across the couch and you looked at all the competition. Did you know anybody else on the show, besides Ray and Jess?
Nope.
What were your thoughts?
Literally, I was just thinking, oh my God, if my heart doesn't stop beating so hard, it's going to explode out of my chest and get blood everywhere. I'm just going to die in front of everybody. Literally, John. I mean, I was like this. I could feel it. And I'm like, can anyone else feel my heart? I mean, I was almost in shock because I'm sitting here realizing that all these camera crew, I mean, it's not a little, oh, let's get your iPhone and start videotaping. I mean, it's legit a camera crew, very professional. Right. They know what they're doing. They got the little take 1, take 2 deal. And Ray and Jess standing there. I mean, obviously, they're like little celebrities, right? And so I'm just sitting here I'm like that little fangirl, oh my God, it's right, Josh. And they're standing 2 feet away from me, just that total dork. So yeah, I'm a fangirl.
What was it that made you so nervous?
well, just being in the presence of them and being on camera, and like when I get, I black out a lot of times. So when I get asked a question, I black out and I'm like, oh my God, what did they just ask me? Oh God, how do I answer? And I was just terrified that I was going to do that and not really. So just being that whole situation, just the competition, because I grew up swimming, and I can remember waiting my heat. I'd be sitting in the tent. It's the big competition. I'd be sitting there in my bathing suit, and I'm shaking because I get very, very nervous. I mean, I'm very competitive, but when I get nervous, it's like a hardcore, the adrenaline. So it was the same thing. I mean, I was ready to be competitive with all y'all, but it was like a little bit different because we were on TV. We were going to be famous. We were getting videotaped. It's just totally different.
Right. All right. So don't give away any vital details.
Of course.
But what was your favorite moment on the show? What was the thing that stuck out to you the most?
Oh gosh. So it was a hard moment for me, which I'm sure it was for everyone, but I did like the one-on-one with Ray and Jess.
Oh yeah.
I felt like I had them do what?
Day one?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
I did like my one-on-one with Jess, because it was very intimate, and it was, it was a moment to actually be able to have those breakthroughs. Because, everybody had breakthroughs all week. We were all breaking through all kinds of stuff. So that was probably my favorite part, because I got them all to myself. A little selfish.
Yeah. All right. So on the flip side, what was the most nerve-wracking portion of the show for you?
Well, that was very nerve-wracking, though, at the same time. But it was probably when we had to do our first initial interview, our very first initial interview when we were interviewed at the docks. Do you remember? I
didn't even remember that one.
Yeah, because that was like the start of it. Remember, we got interviewed, and I remember it was very windy. We're like, whoosh, our hair, and it was almost like it should have been a scene of, just like this, but it was more of a, it was, the wind was not appropriate. Yeah. But that was probably my first, because it's like getting that microphone shoved in your face, and you're just like, oh, here we go. Here we go, baby, because it's no stopping now.
They said, you don't have a problem projecting, do you? And I was like, no, not at all.
You're like, nah. No.
Yeah. So what do you think the greatest lesson you learned on the show was?
Well, mine is really centered around confidence, and that was one of the breakthroughs. I mean, I can't really tell you what we talked about. You guys will see, but there was a lesson to be learned just from my past and what I went through and what I put my family through. You guys will see on the show when it's released, but that's all that I can give at this point in my life.
Okay, cool. Now, here we are. Let's see here. We're in month 8, so we're 6 months after the filming of the show. What do you think has changed the most for you personally since getting off the show?
Oh my goodness. So I feel like I'm able to be more vulnerable now, because we were like, literally, they stripped us down naked, and we stood there naked in front of strangers. Not really, but that's what you felt, right?
Emotionally.
You were literally emotionally, yes. It's not a rated R show, y'all. Okay. Don't get excited. But I think that's it, just being vulnerable, because then we can connect. We're going to be able to find those people who need us, and we need them. We've got not everybody has the same past, but you've got points that you can relate to. And I think that's really what's helped, is just not being that, oh, let's just post a smiley face every single day on Facebook and pretend like our lives are perfect kind of jazz. Like, we're being real, raw, vulnerable, and very relatable. And yeah, that's a big, big thing.
Do it. Cool.
Cheers to vulnerability.
So inside we have our own private Facebook group for just the contestants. There's been a lot of nerves about the upcoming release of the show. Are you nervous? Like,
oh my God, I think about it every single day, and I just keep thinking, when is it going to happen? Because I'm going to have to be heavily intoxicated when that first show time is released. Oh my gosh, I'm just excited. And Ray keeps doing stories, because he's reviewing it, and I'm like, oh Lord, it gets me excited.
I've been trying to follow. I haven't seen him. I saw.
Well, that's on Instagram. I don't know if assuming it feeds over to his Facebook. It probably does, but yeah, he's doing clips of his stories where he, like I think yesterday he had Patricia, one of her little clips came up, and I forget who else. Maybe Ryan? I don't remember. But he's just reviewing, reviewing some of the clips. So yeah, I'm nervous.
So what makes you nervous about the upcoming release?
Well, I think just because you just get nervous about what the heck do you look like on camera, and are you even making sense? Because again, I blacked out pretty much the whole time. Every time I had a microphone shoved in my face, I blacked out. I was like, that kind of deal. The ugly cry. So we'll see.
We'll see.
But
right?
I'm like, how? Every time they threw a microphone in my face, I was like, a mess. So yeah.
So there's a ton of people that are either not in network marketing, so they've never heard of Ray Higdon, or B, they're in network marketing, but they still haven't heard about him or haven't seen the first season. What would be the value of somebody to watch this show? I mean, why should people watch?
Well, for one, there's some life lessons. People are literally this whole Facebook and social media. I mean, it's feeding people and allowing people to, it's an income. And to have all these strangers come onto the show, Ray has been in the industry for how many years? And he has changed and touched so many lives. So if you don't know Ray, or you haven't yet heard about him, and once the show's released, you will obviously know who he is. I mean, it's just hard not to start following him, because throwing all of us into this big, ginormous house and doing all, putting us through all that we were put through, being as vulnerable as we were. I mean, and realizing that this is just to step up our game and step up our business and connect with more people. It's just, I don't know, now I'm rambling, but he's somebody that he's been through hell and back, and he's relatable. He was dead broke, foreclosed. What does he say? Foreclosed.
Personal foreclosure, dead broke, stack of bills, right? I mean,
yes, he has his whole line of.
He was a real estate guru, and when the bubble crashed in 2008,
he went through a divorce, was an alcoholic. I mean, he was anything and everything that you could relate to. So I mean, he's a real person. He didn't start with money.
There's definitely a lot with him and Jess that are very connectable, right?
Yeah.
Their story is not a story of silver spoons and having arrived. It's more clawing and scratching to the top and really just trying to make it. So
and that's where it's easy for us to connect to, because like you said, they weren't served with a spoon. They were pulled out of their bed and beaten, and like, it's a real story that you can overcome that.
Yeah, they definitely have an inspirational story. So it's going to be interesting to see, even if that part of it makes it in to the show, because they got to edit that stuff and they got to do all that good stuff.
Yeah. So if not, he might mention it on his free Coaching Fridays, which is what you used to watch before you joined the Rankmakers. Remember?
Yep.
You're like, I'm not joining that.
Yeah.
Just gonna watch it for free.
I didn't understand it. So I had joined, and I only was in there for like a month, and I didn't understand the group. I don't think they had the onboarding like they do now, or the explanation.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the connections with like you guys to be able to go, hey, what is this thing? Right.
Yeah.
I think that they've definitely improved the group Rankmakers to where it's far more easier to navigate than it was. Because I think I joined it in like, I want to say January of last year, maybe February timeframe. And I mean, I wasn't in there for very long, and I was like,
right,
why am I paying for this? You
get
all the stuff on Friday for free. Like, and then I just started watching Friday. And then for me, one of my friends was on season 1, Trip. And I saw him on the show, I knew. I said, I'm going to be on the next show whenever it comes out. So, and then in December, I got an email about Rankmakers opening. So I rejoined. And then 5 days later, I got the email that, hey, we're doing Play to Win season 2.
Yeah.
So,
well, and I actually missed the first cutoff.
You did?
Literally, they extended it, which I'm like, well, that must have been for a reason too, because I didn't even do it. I didn't even submit. I was like, I am not doing this. And literally, they extended it, and I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to, aren't I? Daggone it! I was mad, so mad.
All right. Well, thanks for your time. Look forward to watching all of you be extremely nervous about the show. I find it hilarious.
So you're not at all nervous because this is the stuff you do every day. You're like,
I don't do TV every day, but it just,
no.
I don't know. I've had media exposure. Like I was on Fox News and I was on some other things. So it definitely doesn't make me nervous in that regard. They're going to do what they do with the footage, and I'll either look like a jackass or I'll look great.
And you don't even care.
I mean,
he's like,
that's why you signed that waiver.
I know, right?
Signing away your I don't know,
humility. Your whole
like, and I made for me, I made a very specific I don't want to say vow, but a very specific point inside my own headspace that I was going to lay everything out on the carpet, do whatever it took to be competitive, to win that show, and to be able to help other people try to win the show as well.
Oh, absolutely.
So I was when I was doing that, I mean, there were things that I'm not going to say what they were, but there are things on that show that I've never shared publicly ever before.
Oh, so, yeah. There's a lot of people. Well, I think all of us. Yeah. I think all of us got down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah. So I definitely took the show seriously enough to not leave anything out. Like I did whatever it took. So, and I was at peace with that before I came onto the show, and I said, man, I'm gonna go all out, and whatever happens, and I'm not gonna regret it. And I try to live my life that way anyway. So
no regrets for sure. Just embarrassed about the crying. We were all crying though, right?
No. There was some dust. It was coming off.
Okay. Was that what it was? It was the cameras, I gotcha.
Or maybe the sun. I don't know. It wasn't me.
You're right. I think we got sand in our eyes.
That was sand in my eyes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it's great interviewing you. Thank you for taking out the time
having me
to come on and give us your Billboard promotional concept.
This is really weird. I am not Carol, y'all. I do not have a bunch of wild kitty cats. Hey, all you cool kitty cats.
You're okay. Cats are not okay.
Puppy dogs.
Yep.
That's right.
All right.
All right. Well, y'all have fun.
And I'll see you in the group. Later. Stick on for a couple of seconds.